Hot take, Cam. DS9's two-parters superior to, say, TNG, Voyager, even Enterprise, and there's a very good reason for this, but I don't know, do you think I'm being a little bit out there? I swear I'm not trying to be clickbaity, but I think there's some legit reasons why Deep Space Nine might have the strongest string of two-parters we've ever seen in Trek.
Well, Tyler, you didn't talk about the original series. I think the Menagerie might stand up quite well against some of the DS9 greatest hits.
I take it all back, though. But do you think there's some sort of consistency that we got with the DS9 two-parters and feature-length episodes that maybe we didn't experience with other series?
Yeah, like, I think when you look at Voyager or TNG, like, there are gulfs and valleys, you know what I mean? Like, there are some... You get Best of Both Worlds. You know, you get one of the all-time greatest. You get Chain of Command. Again, amazing. But you got Birthright. You know.
Gambit.
Yeah. Descent. Like, I like Descent, but is Descent as great as those other ones? Not so much. But when I look at the DS9 ones, I think there's a consistency across the board, even in maybe, like, one, like, past tense that doesn't tie into the mythology, that the writers just really did treat these, even if they didn't have the budget, as, like, mini movies that they really had ambitious ideas they wanted to tackle.
Well, I think some fans might be dismissive of past tense. It might not be the most memorable, but you and I found it to probably be the most Star Trek in the classic sense than any of the other two-parters. There's so much to dive into here. But is there really a dud in the bunch, though? You and I, we just ranked them all, and we actually liked every single one of them, unlike some of the other TNG or Voyager ones. So I think a lot of it maybe ties back into, say, the mythology building and the character building that they did so well in Deep Space Nine. I think, hand it to Odo. So many of these two-parters rest on the mythology, and the mythology rests a lot on Odo. And I think Rene Auberjonois just blew it out of the park with so many of his performances. The Dies Cast, where he's being tortured by one Garrick, that stands out to me, though. Do you think there's, I don't know, a particular secret ingredient that maybe Deep Space Nine has, or do you think they just kind of got lucky every single time?
Well, I think part of the success of the DS9 two-parters is that, you know, you mentioned it a few minutes ago, like about mythology, and that they always had this mythology they could rely on and bring it into their two-parters, which gave it that much more of an epic kind of feel. Like, you know, look at Best of Both Worlds, which is amazing, but you have the Elizabeth Dennehy character showing up, Shelby. Shelby's an amazing character. We also never see her again. We'd also never seen her in the past. Whereas, like, with DS9, you know, you get Paul Dooley showing up as Tane. You get Andy Robinson. You get Mark Alimo as Ducat. You get these characters who are recurring that have made huge impacts leading up to those two-parters, but you bring them in and then give them some of their best material across the franchise, and you are getting just, like, home run after home run character moments, whereas, like, a lot of the other series...
Sisko and Jake Sisko are big fans of home run
definitely,
character moments.
Definitely, yes. Not so much Rom, though. But I mean, like, when you do look at what each of the characters had to do in all these two-parters in the DS9 universe, they all were given A material for the most part, I think, across the board, and really got to have these show-stopping dramatic moments, whereas, like, TNG, they would cut some characters to the side. You know, there'd be, like, a two-parter where Geordi would do nothing pretty much, or in Voyager, like, Harry Kim is practically invisible. But DS9 employs its entire cast and its recurring characters with all their own baggage, and it just helps, even if you don't have the money, to really boost up the story you're telling and give it a richness and an impact that maybe the other series just couldn't compete with.
The one thing I'll say is take the worst of any other series, put it up against the worst of Deep Space Nine, and no question Deep Space Nine is going to come out on top there.
Yeah, for sure.